Wow, it's been a long day. Well, already it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I left Sofia, Bulgaria last night, took a night bus, left about 10:30. This was my first night bus and crossing an international land border by myself because Abby's with her mom in Spain on their annual mother-daughter vacation.
So right about now would be a great time for me to insert a bunch of pictures of my mother and I enjoying the terrain of Spain. I made a rhyme. But I completely failed at life and we didn't even take one single photo together the whole trip, except one of our feet. Nor did I take any wide angle footage. So you're just gonna have to trust me. I was in Spain with my mom. She can vouch for me.
But I got here in Istanbul very quickly, a lot faster than what it said it was going to be. It said it was supposed to get here at about 7 o'clock. We got here about 5 or 6. And once I got here, then we had to figure out how to get to the hotel. I had met a friend on the bus and we kind of navigated and talked to some people, and we were able to buy a metro ticket to get us down close to where we were at. So after we got off the metro, then I had to get a taxi. And the taxi was kind of expensive for the short trip that we took, but I also didn't want to walk it because it would have took a while and those bags were heavy. So now I'm sitting here. Now the problem I'm having is that I use local SIM cards when I go to countries. Well, it's early Sunday morning, so nothing's open to buy a SIM card. So that means I have no data or no way to contact our host. And I was sitting here panicking, going, what am I going to do? I think I'm in the right spot. I don't know. Then I remember we have Skyroam. Now Skyroam is a mobile hotspot, and sometimes it works great and sometimes it's not so good. But it actually saved the day today. I paid like $9 for unlimited for all day, and I was able to message the host. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, but again, he thought I was going to be here at 8. It's 7 o'clock. I am in the right area where my Airbnb is. I just don't know exactly where it's at. So. Alright guys, so I didn't really give you too much of an update yesterday because I was kind of tired from my overnight travel. That really got me. Like, it got worse than a plane flying over. Like, I just wanted to sleep all day yesterday. But I got in my room and I ended up having some problems. The AC didn't work, and it's hot here in Istanbul, so all I did was sweat constantly. I think I took 2 or 3 showers yesterday. After talking to the owner, or one of the guys who runs this, he said, hey, I got another room, come look at it. He showed me this room, which is a lot bigger than what we had and a lot nicer setup, really what we want. The air conditioner works way better in here. It's already way cooler in here, just being here for 2 seconds. I don't know how low that's set, but it feels better in here. So this is our little apartment here in Istanbul that we've been staying in. Of course, little, it's actually decent size. Got a nice little sitting area to work and eat at. Got a fridge that we kind of had to rig up to keep closed because it won't stay fully closed.
Do you guys remember that video a while ago in Costa Rica that I made about all the different uses of a headscarf? Well, here's yet another one.
Most places here have a basic kettle and some coffee. You just gotta buy a little tea or coffee to go with it. Little bed, huge whole wall of windows that doesn't really have the best view because there's construction right next to us.
True.
But you can also kind of see the park, but it's also there's so many trees you can't see much. Nice big comfortable bed, big huge couch, somewhere to put our clothes, nice dresser to put our clothes in, and a decent bathroom. Decent bathroom. There's storage up there. We put all of our stuff and just basic.
But tell them about the fanciest part.
The fanciest part though is the seagulls and cloud panels up here. Just adds to the ambiance of this bathroom.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like you're outdoors.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys.
We are in Istanbul again today. We are taking you over to Sali Pazari market. It's in the Karakol area and it's supposed to be a really good local market.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really sell like touristy stuff like the Grand Bazaar does, but I mean I guess it sells everything. But
It sells, yeah,
huge
like everything.
and really, really interesting to walk through. So we are going to go over there. This is Fatih. This is Kardiga Park in Fatih, our neighborhood. It's just outside of our apartment.
Yeah.
But we're not staying here.
No.
We're going to the market.
We're going to go to the market, and this market's only on Tuesdays. Now, there's markets all over the city throughout the different days, but this one is like the biggest local one. So we think we found where it's supposed to be. Abby found a good blog that kind of had a good description of it.
Hard to find.
It is really hard to find in English where this is at. But we're going to go over to take the metro over to the Asian side today and see if it's over there. And see if we can find it easily, hopefully.
Wish us luck.
Yeah.
Step one, make it up all these hills to the metro.
One thing you don't realize when you get to Istanbul is exactly how many hills you have to walk up. Like,
Sucks.
you don't know, I mean, I don't know what I assumed when I first came here, that it was going to be pretty flat because it's right by the water, but no. To get to Old Town, you got to hike up a hill.
It's going to be very hard for me to ever get to the market if Brian keeps taking me down the shoe street. We're not going to get anywhere. That street is like heaven. I've never seen so many shoes in my life. Shoes and shoes and shoes. It was like overwhelming and so magnificent.
All right, so there's two ways to get over to the Asian side. Well, several ways, but two main ways is by ferry or by metro. The ferry, of course, goes to the certain port, which is pretty close where we're going. When we read that the market is right by the metro, we chose to do the metro, hopefully being it's really close. Again, prices are about the same. It's only like, again, a couple of bucks to get over there, so.
Okay, so the all-metro ticket over to the Asian side is about 17 Turkish lira, which is about $2 US.
Now we're over here in the Asian side. Now the fun begins. Now we gotta try to find this market. All right. We've changed directions. Maybe it's over there. We don't know. We're just kind of walking in a general direction where we think it might be.
So the problem is that the name of the bazaar, Sali Pazari, is the same as like every single market, every single building, restaurant in this area. Like, you type it in the map and it's just the same, like everything's named that. So that makes it a little tough.
About an hour in, a little over an hour. And it feels longer than that because it's hot. And we still have no idea where this place is.
Well, we found a nice local lady who has directed us this way, so.
This is the current situation. Looking back at the blog, trying to get the street names. So we admitted defeat. We finally just got in a taxi and asked them to take us there. So.
Okay guys, so we're gonna try to give you better directions later, but just take a taxi. It's a long ways from the metro stop and even longer ways from the port from what we can tell. The taxi was less than $2 and it's just not worth your time. Alright guys, so we didn't really come to shop for anything in particular. We do both need new shoes, but this is supposed to be a really decently priced market or a pretty cheap market, even for locals. Like, it's supposed to be a good price. It is also supposed to be really huge, like way bigger than most Istanbul's local market.
Where are you from? Welcome to Turkey. Thank you. 2-5. Thank you.
Thank you.
What is this called? called? What's his name? Savit? Samit. Samit. Just a big bagel pretzel. They sell them all over the place. Some have sesame seeds, some have cinnamon, some have like, they're tasty. I can't even tell you the last time I bought a full bottle of water and a Coke for less than $1. But it's been a very long time. Another one of the Turkish like street food delicacies is a doner, and it means like to rotate. So it's like these bits of meat that you would see a lot of places in the world, but apparently like this is the birthplace of it. So they're super tasty. Usually it's on a sandwich or like they call it a doner kebab, but really it's just like meat and veggies and then tortilla, and it's super tasty. This stall smells like heaven. It's delightful. New eyeliner and nail polish. $1. Okay, so that's nothing like the size of the Grand Bazaar or anything, but it's a really, really nice market. The prices are super, super good. Ain't even like for the rest of Istanbul, like they're super good. And it was a lovely market. Like everything was nice, everything was clean. The people, the salesmen and stuff like let you look and were super helpful, but also not pushy, which is nice because sometimes in these markets it's like you can't even think because it's just so loud and so pushy, and it definitely was not. This was really, really nice. So the Sali Pazari market happens on Tuesdays and Fridays, and we will drop good directions down in the description for you. Alright, so the best we can do with getting you here is that it's right off Uzunçayır Road. And if you put it in Google, it is not going to take you anywhere close. You can try every variation, every spelling, it's not going to get you here. So the best way to do it is to Google Katakoy, which is like this neighborhood, and Sali Pazari, P-A-Z-A-R-I. I'll put it down there. But it's basically the grocery store across the street. But Google will give you directions to that, and that will get you here. You'll see all the white top tents, and you'll be able to find it. Otherwise, it ain't happening, y'all.
It's one of the smartest things I've seen that they put here next to this market is this playground for the dads and kids to entertain themselves.
While mom's shopping.
Pretty smart.
Pretty smart.
I change on the M4 at the Airlick.
That one.
That one?
Then you go one stop to Akibadem and get off and walk down the hill to the market.
Yep. And just like that, we're back in Europe.
Welcome back to Europe, people.
Made it back to our little apartment, and we're tired. Exhausted. So, we're gonna get some drinks and relax for a bit.
I can't get it open. Somebody left the air conditioner off while we were gone and didn't open the windows. It's like 75 bajillion in here.
That would be me. I turned the air conditioner off, totally meant to open the window, and then I was too busy grabbing things and just totally forgot to open the window. So yeah, it's hot. It's hot in our room.
Am I tired?
Yeah.
Nighttime by the Bosphorus, or evening, afternoon, I guess. This is like the local bring your camping chair, have a picnic,
Or your grill.
go swimming, all the above boardwalk. It's not too far from our apartment either.
Couple blocks. Well, when I was getting our lunch and our host guy who's seen me a few times. We've talked a few times. He said, "Hey," and he made fun of me being bald one time. That was interesting. But he got a cigarette out and asked me if I smoke, and I said, "No, I don't smoke." He started up. I said, "It's bad for your lungs. It's not good for you." He looked at me and goes, "I will not die from smoking." And I said, "Okay." And then he goes, "I will die from stress of life." And he's like, "Look at this traffic," and the traffic is like packed up in front of him. And I just started laughing. I said, "Okay."
Death by traffic.
Death by traffic, I guess. I don't know.
I've chosen my meal. I'm still waiting on Slowpoke over here to analyze every single thing in this gigantuan menu.
I want to try everything.
We are at Turkish Kebab, by the way, which is like a little local kebab place just a little bit from our hotel or our apartment. So what are you gonna get?
I'm getting this Adriana kebab. It's like a meat stick, meat wad.
You mean you're not just gonna order it as meat wad? Meat wad ball stick thing?
No, figure I would just point in that. I'm gonna do the 8 out. Yeah.
So far, my favorite thing about Turkey is that every meal you sit down to, they will eat free bread, some kind of sauce, appetizer. Last night it was like 3 whole things in a basket, and I had some hot sauce in this. And then you end up getting like free Turkish tea or Turkish coffee afterwards, sometimes a dessert. It's fabulous. Yummy. Alright guys, so in the States when we think of a kebab, we think like meat on a stick. But here in Turkey, or at least in Istanbul, it really is not like that. It's really like a whole plate of goodness. Like, you do get just grilled, seasoned meat, but like mine has peppers and tomatoes and rice and salad and vinegared like cabbage and bread, and it's delightful. Oh, cities I would never drive in. Istanbul tops the list. There's all these streets that are only wide enough for one-way vehicles, but they're not one-way streets, so it's just craziness.
So after all that food, and I was thoroughly stuffed, it only cost us 120
Lira.
Lira, which is like 14 bucks, somewhere around there. So really good. Every night we walked around, we walked through this little area, and there's a bunch of tables set up, and there's a bunch of people playing cards, and it looks like barbecue. And this guy said hello and told us to sit down. Can we just ask how to play? And they're kind of showing us how to play their version of barbecue.
I think we're figuring it out, but theirs has like a dice, and yeah, it's played a little different and much faster.
Draw and you discard one. You draw from the middle pile that you don't see. And then once you get going, you start putting.
Oh, thank you.
Go.
So after a while back there, it got a little crazy. You could definitely tell, even with total like language barrier, that there was some trash talking going on. At one point, we spilled chai all over the table. There was a lot of domino slamming. It was quite the endeavor, but it was so much fun. And we almost learned the rules. You have to be way better at math than you do for regular Rumi Cube, like American version Rumi Cube. You gotta be good at math to play it here.
And they just bought us rounds and rounds and rounds of chai, and then they wouldn't let us pay for it at the end when we offered to. They're like, no. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet, so nice.